Broos, a warm welcome to Moses Mabhida Stadium. I'm Romy Titus, the media officer. I first have to start with an apology. We're extremely sorry that we're late today due to late departure from Johannesburg. We're having our press conference later than was scheduled. We do appreciate your patience. Thank you so much. I'm going to hand over to Coach Hugo to address you. There will be a moment where we do have one-on-ones. I'm not going to do it on the pitch. I'm going to move the banner for us to do it against that backdrop, as well as one-on-ones with Sianda. On that note, Coach, we are in Durban. Media have been patient, but your thoughts just ahead of this World Cup qualifier against Benin. Coach?
Yes, good afternoon, or do I have to say good evening already? When the draw was done the draw of the groups was done, I said that this was not the worst group, but it was a tricky group. And you see the results of the past days show that I was right when I said that. So all the matches were draws, and certainly the draw of Nigeria yesterday was a surprise. Therefore, again, winning at home is very important. When you don't win at home, you have to catch those points away. And we know, and also you, I think, that it's very difficult in Africa. People are always talking about ranking. Or this team, or the 85th, and this is the 110, and this is the 135. You know, every game against those teams is difficult. And again, you saw the results, and you see also their results. They don't have so much big defeats. When they lose a game, it's 1-0, 2-1, but not 5 or 6-0 like I saw Egypt, Djibouti, 6-0. You never see that with those teams. So that means that there are tough games. And we know that it will be a tough game at the other side. I'm confident because I see what this team did already in the past. I see also what happens this week on training. It will be very important that we start the game with a good mindset, first of all. Secondly, that we achieve our best level. And third, that we have the right mentality. From the beginning, I know that at the other side there is also a very experienced coach, so he knows how to handle those games. It's up to us that not let happen tomorrow, and that we have the 3 points. I said also that a good start for qualifiers is very important. If you are a little bit lucky, you can put the pressure already on your opponents. Well, tomorrow, with the victory, we can put already the pressure on our opponents. So I think this is a big opportunity to do it. We have to grab it with our 2 hands tomorrow and win that game. And then it's a totally different mindset that we can go to Rwanda if we don't lose points tomorrow. So it's up to us. But again, I'm confident, I know what this team can do. So we have to do it tomorrow also. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach. Sia, obviously you're home away from home. You're not based here in Durban, but in Johannesburg. But it must be nice to be at home. How does that feel? And also playing in front of your home crowd and addressing, I guess, the Durban media for a change.
Good evening, everyone. It's good to be back home. I think I left home quite a long time, but it's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. We've seen how much your so-called lower-ranked team they become so problematic when it comes to them playing in away games. So we think it's going to be an opportunity for us as a team to start in a very positive way when it comes to this group, and we're quite aware of the other results from the other countries, which is something that we can never try and focus on. We want to make sure that we start well as a group that wants to do well, and picking 3 points tomorrow is the main objective for us.
Being at home?
At home, yes.
Yeah. No, I'm saying you being at home.
Yeah, I mentioned it.
All right, guys, on that note, we are going to take Q&As for Sia as well as the coach. Please, if you wouldn't mind, to just say your name, your surname, and the media house that you represent prior to asking your question, please. Open for questions. Sure, so go ahead.
Good evening, Coach. Good afternoon from the services sponsor, Coach FM. We are in the spirit of supporting national teams in South Africa. We saw what happened in the Springboks cricket yesterday. And just your thoughts about the way Bafana Bafana is supported ahead of this game. Just saw now that the tickets are not really selling that much. What's your response on that playing at home?
Yeah, I hoped a little bit that tomorrow we play for a big crowd, not a full stadium. I know also this stadium is too big to be full, but I don't know how many people we can expect for tomorrow, but it's a little bit amazing that we can't get the people to the stadium. We are a team who didn't lose for 2 years and a half. We had very good results the last months. We qualified for AFCON. We won against Morocco, we won against the ERC. We did a fantastic game in Ivory Coast. And still there is no response. It's a little bit frustrating and disappointing. You know, this is, or you don't know maybe, but it's not so easy to play in a stadium where there is a little crowd. There are moments in the game that you need that crowd. And again, when you go and play in Ivory Coast, full house. You go and play in Liberia, full house. You go and play in Morocco last year, full house. And here we can't succeed to get the people to the stadium. Liberia, full house. 100 and I don't know what on the ranking. It's unbelievable. So, okay, it is what it is, and we don't have to think about that too much, because we have to be ready for tomorrow. But again and again, South African people should help us a lot when they give a little bit more response to our games.
Taking the next question, so 2, 3, 4. Go ahead.
Coach, it's Robin Tukumadala from Matiskita. I'm sure that doesn't help you, when you see the lack of attendance, in terms of getting, the confidence from the people. I'm sure it makes your job also hard, difficult, because, as I said from that. And also, what do you make of Rwanda drew against also Zimbabwe? Do you think it gives you opportunity to take charge of the group? Because remember the last time you played Zimbabwe away, you couldn't able to win.
Yeah, but okay, this is also something what I don't understand in African football, that home games are not home games. And now I think Zimbabwe will come and play our home game here in South Africa against us. So we are now a little bit advantaged with that, for that game. But when I saw in the past that, for example, Liberia is playing their home game in Morocco, I'm very sorry, but this is not correct. And it's not the first game that happens like that. So I think CAF has to do something on that, and I know it's not easy for those countries to have an appropriate stadium, because it's something about money. But you can easily make a period and said, okay, when you from today, in 5 years you don't have a stadium appropriate, then you don't play any more CAF and you AFCON, and you don't any more qualifiers for World Cup. But if you say nothing and those things happened, then the competition is not for 100% correct anymore. But yeah, it's not up to us. This is the guys up there who has to decide it, and I hope that one day they will decide it and put a period on. Okay, if you have not that stadium what you need to have, I'm very sorry, you had that 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. You haven't? Okay, finished. No qualifiers anymore, no for World Cup and for AFCON. And maybe then they will move something, because you see what happened in Liberia. Suddenly they felt that they had a chance, maybe, to qualify, and suddenly there was a stadium. Even on the beginning of the competition, there was no stadium, because they went to Morocco to play their own game. You see, if the pressure is there, that they can do it. So I hope that, one day they will decide that, look guys, that's that now, and it's up to you now.
Next question, go ahead.
Coach, I am Daniel from Gada CFM. Just your assessments on Benin, what do you know about them going into this game? And based on that, how are you going to be approaching the game tomorrow?
We know a lot, eh? Don't think that because it's Benin that we don't know anything. You know, with the modern technology, you can find everything you want. And we saw the last 4 games of them. So I think we are good informed about what their qualities are and what their weaknesses are. And it's up to us, certainly, to use their weaknesses. And I think we can, with the team we have, we can do that. And therefore, again, I said in the beginning that the mindset and the mentality on the pitch will be very important tomorrow. It will not be up and 2-0, don't forget it. I will be happy that we win tomorrow. The way doesn't matter for me. If we have the 3 points after 90 minutes, I'm the happiest guy you can find.
Next question.
Okay, gentlemen. Smith Omsom, Independent Media. My question
Sorry,
is
can you
for
speak up, please?
Smith Omsom, Independent.
Yeah, but you know, if we win tomorrow, the next game of also for us, playing in Rwanda, you have to win it also. But for Nigeria, it's a little bit different. Imagine that we are in that position, and you have to go to Rwanda next week. So if you can win tomorrow, your mindset is a little bit different, and that doesn't mean that you go to Rwanda and say, okay, wow. If we lose, no. But it's not with the knife here. Nigeria is with the knife here. Imagine, let's pray to the Lord, and we have 6 on 6, and they play again a draw. They are 4 points behind already. So therefore, again, a good start is very important. And certainly your home games. Because again, if you lose here tomorrow 2 points, you have to catch it, Rwanda or Zimbabwe out or Benin out or whatever. Because if you win your home games, you are already very far. And then if you can catch right or left maybe 1 or 2 victories, I think you will be qualified.
Next question, the lady there, then the gentleman, and we'll come to you in front.
Nundumis Mkiza from Durban Mid Radio Sports Unlocked. Coach, I just want to find out that do you think playing at almost sea level, because in Durban it's very cool, will be an advantage to your players, one? And secondly, I think I'll touch on what my brother just mentioned now, that especially the teams that seems to be underdogs are doing very well at this qualifier, and the team that you are playing have almost youngsters. Does it give you any worry, or you rely on all the good luck?
It doesn't give me any worry, but we have to be conscious that tomorrow we will not have an easy job to do. Yeah, you know, this is the first game of the qualifiers, and every team is motivated. Every team thinks, okay, they don't come to win here. That I'm sure. But they come not to lose here, because when they play a draw here, for them, it's a very good result with a home game next week. So this is something we have to know. We know that is the reason why certainly in the beginning of qualifiers, that those little countries that that they are motivated when they play against a team who is higher ranked than they are. You see, Lesotho in Nigeria, the motivation of those players has been 200% to do something against them. If they lose, so what? Nobody, it's normal. But now everyone speaks about the draw of Lesotho. So the motivation for those teams is very, very big. And if you are not ready for those games, and you have not the right mindset and mentality, then you have big problem.
Does that answer your question? I think he... Are you happy? Go ahead.
Benin, we are Benin broadcast. Please give me the question to ask.
You may go ahead now. It is your turn.
Ok. Bonsoir Hugo Broos. Demain, match contre le Bénin. Qu'est-ce que vous savez du Bénin et son coach avant de l'affronter demain?
De Benin, sur quoi? Sur la coach?
Sur l'entraîneur Genetror. C'est l'entraîneur du Bénin. Et qu'est-ce que vous savez du Bénin avant de jouer le Bénin demain?
J'ai une mauvaise expérience avec le coach. Parce que pour les qualifications de Coupe du Monde en Russie, on a joué au Nigeria, on a perdu 4-0 avec le Cameroun. 3 mois après avoir gagné la Coupe d'Afrique. Donc c'est une mauvaise expérience avec lui, mais enfin, c'est une question de parler. Et je sais aussi que c'est un entraîneur qui a beaucoup d'expérience. Il a fait des bons résultats avec le Nigeria. Donc il connaît son métier et je suis certain que demain il va essayer de faire un bon résultat avec les Benin ici en Afrique du Sud. De notre côté, comme j'ai dit au début, avec les moyens modernes pour le moment, on trouve chaque information qu'on veut sur n'importe quel adversaire. Donc aussi pour le Bénin, on sait tout. Tu peux être certain, on sait tout. Mais parfois c'est pas assez. Et ça, on verra demain si le Bénin a encore un secret pour nous qu'on ne connaît pas. Et alors si c'est comme ça, alors c'est à nous de trouver la solution.
Merci coach. Et bon match. Thank you.
Hi coach, Tashrik Vardin from News 24. I don't know if you know that, but today is your 926th day in charge of Bafana Bafana since you've been appointed. And one of the favorite stats among that as well, you have a 52.3% win percentage. You have overseen 21 matches, but all those matches you only lost 3. And I just would like to know, over the course of your overseeing Bafana Bafana, what has turned the team to such a defensive unit, other than looking at your opponents and tactical tools? What other than from managerial experience have you instilled in these Bafana Bafana players as well?
We started 2.5 years ago with nothing. When I came here in South Africa, I only heard negative things. The coach was not good, the team was not good, the players were not good, the results were not good. And then I saw the team, and for me, one thing was very remarkable was that there were so many older players. So we started with new one, but we needed nearly 1 year before we find the players we wanted. So last year in September with the friendly games against Sierra Leone and I think Lesotho,
yes,
or Botswana, or was it?
It was Botswana.
So suddenly you see that this team is doing what you want. Also with some players who were not there in the beginning, like Zwane, for example. I think that Temba becomes a very important player for us, or became a very important player for us. So from that moment, we start building. We changed a little bit there, a little bit here. And with the game of Liberia, I found really, the group of players I wanted. And you see now in the last 3-4 camps, except the injuries we have, but they are nearly always the same players. And this is what I always wanted from the beginning, because it's easy working. You know the players know you. There are now 4 young players with us. It's like they are already 2 years with us, and this is because the group is so good. That is very important. The mentality of the group is very good, and then you need results. You can do what you want, and you saw it. We were with 1 goal out of World Cup qualifiers, and then we lost 3 times, and then suddenly everything was bad again. So this is a little bit the luck that you have the results. So we have that also, and that means that we became a very good team, and you can beat the very good teams in Africa. And now we have to prove tomorrow that we can beat also those teams who are a little bit less, because with Namibia and Eswatini we had a bad experience. But I think we learned a lot of those games. We learned a lot, and it was just on the right moment that we had those experiences, and therefore also we chose those opponents. They were not the top. They were a little bit those teams who are normally never qualified for Africa, never qualified, or in qualifiers not playing an important role, because we knew that what will come for qualifiers, that will be the kind of opponents. So from that side we learned a lot, and I don't think that we will make the same mistake tomorrow.
Final question for the coach over there. You've asked one already, haven't you? Go ahead.
Well, it's really not a question, but it's for all. Just your message to, since you're from here in Durban and you're playing at home, just your message to someone who's at home who's saying, I don't want to go watch Bafana Bafana, who doesn't have that energy. Just your message to make that person say, okay, I'm coming. Just your message to the fans overall.
So I have to mix it in Zulu and English?
Yes.
Okay. I think to every South African supporter who's based in Durban, I think we'll really appreciate an extra man on the pitch tomorrow, because we're very much aware of the pressure that comes with playing away and having to overcome the number of fans, and on the other hand we have to grab points and get positive results. So we're just urging everyone who's a South African to just come and support us tomorrow. It's just one thing that we need for now to truly experience the energy and the vibe of playing in front of our fans, which is something that we haven't had in a very long time. So siyacela umuntu ongakwazi ukusupporta kusasa support into esiyidingayo ukuze sikwazi ukuthola ama results positive nokuthi sikwazi ukuqhubekela phambili.
Thank you. Pardon? Guys, it is time for one-on-one, so I'm just going to ask that we do share. So I'm going to leave Sia here. I'm going to move the banner over to the other end for any one-on-ones that you want to have with the coach. Before you do